Why is this happening to me? I remember the feeling like it was yesterday. Hands clamped on my temples, jaw clenched to the point of pain, tears silently streaming down my cheeks. I'd locked myself in a toilet cubicle just up the stairs from my science lab. It was mid-lesson, and I'd left the year 9s unattended. Never a good idea. My head was swimming, my vision was blurred. And it wasn't due to the students. They were a leery bunch, but nothing I hadn't handled before. No, this was something else. A combination of an unmanageable workload, no support, 16-hour days, and my own poor stress management behaviours had led me to this point. I could no longer cope. This was my first taste of burnout. My second taste came 5 years later when I lost a successful personal training business and was unable to work, entirely unable to work for 6 months. I'd thought that retraining in health and fitness would be the answer. What better industry to keep me fit and well, right? Wrong. During that burnout, I realised I was missing a vital piece of the puzzle, and chances are you're probably missing that piece too. In the 6 months where I was in recovery, I did a lot of reflection, and I realised that I'd changed my external environment, but not my internal. I had, to all intents and purposes, gone from being a workaholic teacher to being a workaholic personal trainer. I was still frantically trying to get everything perfect. I was trying to plan a better session, give a better service, reply to messages 24/7, learn new skills, train myself in the gym, and I was exhausted. What good was all this training if I couldn't cope with everyday life? What good was my fitness? Was I even fit? What even was fitness anyway? Because nobody I knew could even define it simply. And that's when it hit me. That's when that missing puzzle piece dropped into my lap. I realised what fitness actually was. And it wasn't what I'd been sold. It wasn't what anyone had been sold. It wasn't about the gym or marathons or lifting weights or yoga or any of that stuff. It certainly wasn't about having visible abdominal muscles. What's that obsession all about anyway? And what it was this. Fitness is your ability to cope with and recover from stress. It's that simple. Fitness is your ability to cope with and recover from stress. So your physical fitness is your ability to cope with and recover from physical stress, which could be running a marathon. It could be going to the gym, but it could be getting up and down the stairs. It could be getting out of bed in the morning. It varies from person to person, and it varies from day to day. And so your mental fitness is your ability to cope with and recover from mental stress, emotional stress. Mind blown, right? This changed everything for me. The fitness I had been sold was completely meaningless in everyday life until it was framed in this way. And that's why I think so many people are disengaged with fitness and well-being. Like, stress is inevitable. Give me a show of hands if you felt stressed since, say, March 2020. In your career, in your relationships, in your health, in your finances, stress is inevitable. And what fitness does is it gives you the capacity to cope with it more effectively and recover afterwards. When it's framed like that, it becomes a currency you can spend on whatever is important to you. Let me give you an example. In my late teens, I was into a festival. Reading, Download, anything with some heavy stuff going on, right? Fast forward almost 2 decades, and I'm getting back into it again. Now, before you say midlife crisis, okay, fine, it's a midlife crisis. But even so, perhaps even more importantly, like, festivals are a hard physical ordeal, right? So I invest in my physical fitness so that I can not just survive them, but actually have the time of my life. I also have 2 businesses. I am studying for a master's in psychology, and I have 2 young daughters, all of which are rather emotionally and mentally challenging. So I invest in my mental fitness so that I can be a better business person, a better student, and a better father. But mainly it's about the festivals. So let me ask you this. If you were mentally and physically fitter, what would that make possible for you? Would it improve your relationships? Would it give you more energy to invest in your chosen career? Would it even allow you to jump in a mosh pit for some pirate-themed heavy metal? Trust me, it exists. Remember that fitness is a currency you can spend on what is important to you. and you can start investing in that currency today. Thank you.